some guy he wants to talk, my head, it gets so blocked and it gets so sore. Because although I talk real fine, that ain't what is on his mind. I'm a pretty piece, and he's just trying to score. They whistle for me like a dog, make noises like a hog. Heaven knows they sure got problems, I agree. But their problems I can solve, because my sanity's involved, and I'm tired of bastards fucking over me.
Well, in my case, when I'm peacefully at work and I'm confronted by some jerk who has some obscene quirk he must display. So I know this dude is ill, I can't help but want to kill any other man who's standing in my way.
I know that life is tough, and to be a man is rough, but I have had enough and can't ignore that their masculinity don't respect my right to be, and I solemnly do swear I'm going to war.
Now I sing this song in hope that you won't think it's a joke, because it's time we all awoke to take a stand.
We've been victims all our lives.
Now it's time we organize.
And to fight, we're gonna need each other's hands. They whistle for me like a dog and make noises like a hog. Heaven knows they sure got problems, I agree. But their problems I can solve, cause my sanity's involved. And I'm tired of bastards fucking over me. Oh yes, I'm tired of bastards fucking over me. Oh yes, I'm tired of fuckers fucking over me.
In my last base, I know they came in, and we always had these big WAF meetings, you know. And our WAF commander came in. I don't know if it was on her own or I don't know. She came in and said, we do advocate birth control pills. So I would suggest that all of you go down, you know, and get them. And
Well, I like saying that you're there to go to bed with the guys, and that's all you're in for.
when we tell that to people who don't have any experience in the military, they say we're crazy.
Oh, you're not crazy.
When we talked to the WAF at Mountain Home Air Force Base, who told us that the first thing that happened to them, they went and they were taken to the psychiatrist, who implied that they were there to service the men, that's why the WAF were there. Free abortions without their parents would never be told, and they'd be sent to Travis to get free abortions and hear your birth control pills. And you tell that to someone on the outside, and they say you're crazy.
I really can't say what all the Japanese people think, but I think if I was in a country and I lived here, you know, I'd sort of resent anybody else coming in, putting bases up and everything else.
Oh, it's just a little accident. Hit by a landmine.
Before I got hit, 8 months. Yeah.
Where'd you get hit?
One of these. Good disguise, huh?
Guess it changes your life, but have to keep on living, I guess.
Well, I don't know. It's been 2 years now, and I guess all I have been doing is just wandering around the place. I don't know.
Think you would have been wandering around if you hadn't been in Vietnam?
No.
I want to read from a book. The book is called Johnny Got His Gun. And it was written in 1938, a year and a half before the Second World War. That's what I'm going to read. It was written about an American GI who was sent to France in the 1914-1918 war to keep the world safe for democracy. And he got hit by a high-velocity shell, and they blew off his arms and legs, everything, his eyes. He didn't have anything. He was kept alive like a fragment of meat in a hospital in France. And he couldn't figure out what to do with his life. I mean, he lived, but, you know, he could tap with his head and communicate, but he couldn't imagine what use his life could be. And he gradually began to discover that if people around the world saw him, saw this piece of meat that couldn't see or hear or speak or anything, they would understand the futility and the horror and the stupidity of war. So he sent to his commanding authority and the government and everyone and asked them if they would put him in a glass box and send him around the world, you know, so that everybody in the world could see him. And in looking at him, they would understand, and then they would make all people come together and all people be free. And he waited for the answer because he thought that the governments, once they heard that idea, would be really eager and do it. And the answer came back, and the answer, of course, was no. That he had to stay in the hospital, that nobody could see him, that he just had to stay there, and he couldn't understand. And then suddenly he did. Suddenly he saw. He had a vision of himself as a new kind of Christ, as a man who carries within himself all the seeds of a new order of things. He was the new Messiah of the battlefields, saying to people, as I am, so shall you be. That was it. He understood it. He understood it now. He understood everything. He had told them his secret. And in denying him, the authorities had told him theirs. He was the future. He was a perfect picture of the future, and the authorities were afraid to let anyone see what the future was like. Already they were looking ahead. They were figuring the future. And somewhere in that future, they saw war. Now, to fight that war, they would need men. But if men saw the future, they wouldn't fight.
We thank you for coming to this museum today. We're going to explain to you with this audio guide the circumstances connected with the bombing of Hiroshima. Science has at last conquered atomic energy, the third source of energy for mankind. However, the real first use of this energy was, unfortunately, the dropping of the atomic bomb on Hiroshima.
It was August 6, 1945, 8:15 in the morning. And all citizens, children, women didn't know anything about that. So it was a great massacre.
In general, the immediate damage caused by the bomb may be divided into three types: the force of the blast, or pressure wave, thermal flash, heat, and the gamma rays. The thermal flash enveloped the city in flames of extremely high temperatures emanating from the fireball. Numerous people, maybe 200,000 or 300,000, lost their lives or were injured.
This was the epicenter. The explosion was about 2,000 feet above this park. And even this river, the water was boiling. And still, thousands of people jumped in, running away from heat.
In the left corner, you can see pictures of the atom bomb. The upper bomb is the uranium bomb named Little Boy, which was dropped on Hiroshima. Below it is the plutonium bomb called Fat Man, which was used on Nagasaki. They weigh from 4 to 4.5 tons each. Their destructive power is equal to 20,000 tons of TNT, or gunpowder.
Most of the people living in this city, they're all dead, or almost half dead. And gradually, in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, everybody dead almost. Even second generation are going to die now.
This is Vietnam. This is Pakistan. This is every place, the weather war machine said that this is all of this.
Thank you for visiting this museum, and may your journey be enjoyable. So, good luck and sayonara.
Destroy each other. Turn that goddamn light out. I'm getting sunburned, honey. Don't turn out that light. I'm gonna turn it out, I'm gonna break it up.